Escalation of conflict, Iran attacks Tel Aviv. Iran launched a large-scale missile attack on Tel Aviv, the capital of Israel, as retaliation for joint military strikes carried out by the United States and Israel against Iranian territory since Saturday, February 28, 2026. The attack struck residential areas and infrastructure in Tel Aviv, triggering massive explosions and air raid sirens across the metropolitan area. Warning: casualties and damage. At least one person was killed, a woman, as a result of the Iranian missile strike in Tel Aviv, while dozens of others were injured and taken to hospitals. Israeli emergency services reported around 20 people wounded, including several in serious condition. Dozens of buildings in Tel Aviv were damaged, with more than 40 structures directly impacted by explosions and missile debris. Many residents were forced to evacuate their homes. Military and political response. The Iranian missile attack is part of a broader retaliation following Israeli and U.S. strikes on Iran. The conflict reportedly intensified after claims that Iran's supreme leader was killed in earlier attacks. The escalation has expanded to include U.S. military bases in the Middle East and other strategic targets in the region. Israel has declared a state of emergency, with air defense systems activated nationwide. Globe showing Europe-Africa regional impact. The conflict has also affected other parts of the Middle East, with reports of explosions heard in cities such as Dubai and Doha due to missile and drone activity linked to the ongoing confrontation. The situation has raised serious international concerns over the possibility of a wider regional war and its potential global impact. The situation in Tel Aviv remains highly tense following the wave of missile attacks claimed to have been launched by Iran. Air raid sirens continue to sound across multiple districts as Israel's air defense systems operate around the clock to intercept incoming projectiles. Residents rushed into underground shelters as authorities temporarily suspended schools, public transportation, and several business operations. Streets that are usually crowded with activity turned unusually quiet, reflecting the seriousness of the situation. According to military sources, the majority of missiles were intercepted, but several managed to penetrate defenses, causing structural damage in residential neighborhoods. Shield air defense and military readiness. Israel's Iron Dome once again served as the primary shield against incoming threats. Military officials described the interception rate as high, yet acknowledged that the scale of the barrage was among the most significant in recent years. The Israeli Air Force reportedly increased aerial patrols, with fighter jets seen taking off from multiple air bases. Analysts suggest preparations for a potential counterstrike are underway. Additionally, the government announced the mobilization of reserve forces as a precautionary measure in case the confrontation escalates into a broader conflict. Classical building official statement from the Israeli government. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu delivered an emergency address, stating that Israel will respond with full force to any aggression. He emphasized that the safety of Israeli citizens remains the top priority and declared that attacks targeting the country's economic hub would not go unanswered. The National Security Cabinet held a closed-door meeting late into the night to evaluate military and diplomatic options. Moneybag economic and global market impact. As Tel Aviv is widely regarded as Israel's financial center, the attack immediately affected domestic markets. The stock exchange experienced notable pressure during the next trading session. Israel's currency showed sharp fluctuations, while global investors closely monitored developments, fearing broader instability in the Middle East that could impact global energy prices. Several international airlines reportedly delayed or canceled flights to Israel as a precautionary measure. Globe showing Europe-Africa international reactions. The international community called for restraint from both sides. The United States reaffirmed its support for Israel's security, while several European nations urged immediate diplomatic engagement to prevent further escalation. Meanwhile, regional observers warned that continued cycles of retaliation could expand the conflict beyond Israel and Iran, potentially drawing in other actors across the Middle East.